Welcome, everybody, to Straight Shoot, a wrestling podcast quick news report. This is what I'm going to call it. I've spoken with Santi. Unfortunately, he can't join me on this, but I think this news is too juicy, too new, too raw, no pun intended, for us to miss out and get Straight Shoot's opinion out on this. So let's start with it. It's been an interesting week in professional wrestling, and it has culminated with the release of X 413-day NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose due to her, let's call it, spicy site. Now, I was going to do this video right off the cuff when it was all released earlier today, but I decided it's a better opportunity for us to really get all the facts and understand the entire situation before making this video. So let's get into it. Mandy Rose from WWE's developmental was on the main roster, had a okay run, but really flourished when she went back down to NXT, became NXT Women's Champion, created Toxic Attraction, has one of the longest NXT Women's Championship runs of all time at 413 days, dropped the title on NXT this week, and presumably 12 hours later was released from her contract. Now, first off, anyone who is going to jump into the comments and say WWE's policies are too strict, why are there other why are there other entertainers on the roster that do not receive the same style of punishment due to things that have happened in the past to them, circa Xavier Woods, Seth Rollins, Shotzi Blackheart, Charlotte Flair. All of these wrestlers and performers and entertainers have had, unfortunately, these things happen where photos, videos, etc. are indirectly leaked from private content that they were to either send to a spouse or a mutual someone, partner, what have you. They were doing that in the privacy of their own home. Now, there's 3 points that I want to make regarding this entire situation, how it differs to Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose has openly started a, quote, spicy site to create content on the internet. Everyone that is part of TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, spicy content creators, podcasters, doesn't matter if you are Logan Paul, Straight Shoot, or a new content creator looking to come in and start content about cooking cinnamon rolls. I don't know. You are putting yourself into the firing line to have your content utilized for something else. Yes, okay, the site that Mandy was using is a secure site where things are not supposed to get leaked. But guess what? Things happen. Mandy was also approached by WWE to tone it down on her site, and she definitely did not. For research purposes, I checked out some of the things that could have been posted. We will not be posting those things on any form of Straight Shoot content, but let's just say this is a lot more than just a bikini pic. And I do not promote what she has been posting, but anyone that says that Mandy Rose should still be working for WWE, considering that a lot of people in WWE have had similar things released and launched, that's not even an argument at this point, because first off, she was warned. Secondly, she said she wasn't going to slow down on it. And third, the content is not what most of the other performers do put out there that have sites like this as well, i.e. Zelina Vega, Scarlett Bordeaux, Lacey Evans. Secondly, you are under contract with WWE. You have an NDA. You also have a non-compete, and you also have your brand is subject to WWE's approval. WWE does not need to allow you to have a separate content site because you are under that contract. You are breaking the structure of your content or contract because this is what you have decided to do. I don't care how much you're making. You are under contract with WWE, so what they say goes. It is a globally publicly traded company that needs to have a certain presentation to their brand. And if they're one of their members, especially a prominent employee on their roster that is holding a title and they are pushing heavily, decides to go and do things like this, you are not respecting the brand, you are not respecting your contract, and you are not respecting the company that you work for. WWE did give Mandy Rose numerous opportunities to tone it down. They said you can keep it, but some of this content needs to chill out, and it is not very chill. So that is my second point to this. For Mandy Rose, anyone who wants to defend her, listen, guys, this is a really hard one because I really wanted to defend Mandy Rose on this. I really was hoping that we would be able to get a reason of why WWE is in the wrong on this one. At first, I even put a comment on a video, this smells like Vince McMahon. And then when you look into everything, you dive into everything, you get the media releases, you do some little bit more of your journalistic digging, and you find really what the source of this is. It's really hard to build a case for Mandy Rose. She was getting put into a prominent position where her and Toxic Attraction had the opportunity to come up on the main roster and do some true damage. Could have had a great feud with Damage Control. Could have had a feud with Bianca Belair, because honestly, Mandy Rose has improved immensely in the ring over the last year and a half in NXT, and it really shows. She's a dominant powerhouse, and she would have done well on the main roster. Could have gone against Bianca, could have held herself against Ronda, because really, who really wants to see Ronda as women's champion right now? She had everything in her grasps. Now, granted, a lot of people are saying that Mandy Rose, and even Mandy Rose said it herself, she was making more on her site than she was as a WWE performer. If that's the case, then she's looking at the dollar signs of value for, freedom. And I think that's a one thing that we can all say that we want to have. We want to be able to make as much money and have as much freedom as possible, where we don't have to go and do a 9 to 5. So maybe that's one where she looked at it and she went, you know what? I'm a wrestler. I got my brand out there. My body is my brand. And if she believes her body is her brand and this is where she wants to go with it, then I completely understand. But am I condoning the way it went down and the way she handled business? Absolutely not. I would expect the same from anyone else that decided, like Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega had her spicy site, and she did nothing of the sort. She just went into like cosplay, and that was, WWE was okay with it. They still asked her to, get rid of it, and I believe she did. But Mandy Rose went on a different avenue, and she definitely went on a different platform, and you really see the differences in what this was. My final point is, when you are given the opportunity to main event and lead a locker room, and they decide to put the title on you, there is expectations of you as a brand ambassador. And this comes with anyone that represents a brand. If you are a podcast, if you are a television show, if you are in a movie, or if you are just working at Foot Locker, you put a badge on your chest or you hold a title, you are representing that brand, and you are to do that at its fullest with the most respect and finest representation of that brand and product. You cannot walk onto TV on a Tuesday holding the NXT Women's Championship and cut a promo in front of 12 to 17-year-old children, and then have said content released the same night after you have cut that promo, and those children then ask questions. And as a father, and I think understanding, I don't speak for Santi, but I know he feels the same way as an uncle, that you don't want the kids to see that. They're still young and you can't expect that. And WWE is not expected to deal with that, the questions and the concerns, especially when they are at meet and greets and you have a child looking at this person and they see them in a different light. Honestly, I wanted to back Mandy Rose this morning when I woke up and I saw the news break from Shamra Sapp saying that Mandy Rose had been released, and I wanted to defend her, and it took so much for me to not jump online because I wanted to see where this led. Unfortunately, this led down a path for Mandy that I cannot defend her. I really appreciate what she did for NXT and carrying the brand through the transition through Vince McMahon into what NXT has become, and it has become a absolutely phenomenal product. And you guys will hear us speak about that on our next video that's going to be posted. But I will say this, Mandy Rose, you've dug your proverbial own grave on this one. I hope you are successful. I would love to see her in pro wrestling again, because I do think she's an incredible talent, but unfortunately I can't see how anyone backs her on this. This is nothing like when Seth has his stuff released. This is nothing like the Paige situation. This is nothing like Lacey Evans. This is nothing like Zelina Vega. This is nothing like any of those people. This is genuinely her choice to post content online that could effectively harm the brand of professional wrestling. Anyone who wants to defend it saying, oh, but WWE in the 90s and 2000s would partnered with Playboy, that was a different decade, that was a different era, and that was a different brand and product of WWE television. It was more racy, it was more risque, it was more non-PG. As much as WWE said they're moving away from the PG era, they have not done that, and it's still a lot about family oriented content with a little bit more of an edge now, but they are still a PG company. They are still a publicly traded company, and they will run that company effectively to protect their brand. And having someone on the roster holding a title nonetheless, and one of their main titles, is not a positive representation of the brand and of the product. So again, I wish Mandy Rose all the best, Mandy Sachs, all the best, and thank you so much for the things that you did while being in the WWE. You were a great entertainer, and I 100% respect everything that you've done. But it's just unfortunate that I wish I could have come on here and somehow backed it, but Santi and I discussed it, and there's no way that we can. So at the end of the day, this is drawn on long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching and being subscribed to Straight True, a pro wrestling podcast. My name is Mr. Tesh. My links, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on YouTube, and you can find me on Twitter, all at Mr. Tesh. All the links will be in the bios. You can find Santi on his YouTube channel. He's nearly at 1,000 followers on his personal, Mr. Santi Zap, which will be linked below. Guys, thank you so much. Make sure if you like this video, leave a comment, leave your opinion. Please leave your opinion. We want to hear how you guys feel about this. We will like every comment that is posted. And don't forget to subscribe, put the bell on for notifications of when we are posting a new video. Thank you so much. Be good people. Go buy someone a coffee, and happy holidays.